BBBY is still in critical support here. Let's go ahead and go over the details. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you from the kitchen right now as the toddler boy is stuck next to me right now with mom at the hospital visiting a new family member. Everybody say congratulations to your boy ARCa. He has a new family member and it's actually from her brother. So let's go ahead and go over some statistics, some technicals, and some raw price action for BBBY so that we can gain that edge for for Monday's session. All right, so let's get this started. Before we get started, actually, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCa. With that said, let's begin. Okay, so we're looking at BBBY on the 5-day chart here, and this is that chart that we've been looking at for quite some time regarding the broadening descending wedge. Okay, so this broadening descending wedge is apparently trying to prep itself for a true breakout upon test number 4, but there are several things that we need to look out for within this, okay? First of all, we reclaimed it and we're now failing it on the 5-day candle. Please mind that the 5-day candle will be over in 2 days, 21 hours, so it's literally forever from now. Okay, so there could be actually a short-term bounce that we can find right at the SMA 10, which is located right at this is the SMA 10, the green line, right at about $2.95, $2.96 before we can actually find a bounce and potentially recover our channel once again. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and go over the support levels that we have on that 5-day, okay, because there are some very relevant areas here. For example, this down here would be the secondary support at about 224 before finding a massive bounce there as well. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and take some fibs and see if anything rhymes. We'll take it from the current price action, right? So the swing low to the swing high of this 5-day. And right away we can see that the SMA 10 is landing right at our one spot 272 at about 293. We said about 295.96, right? So this is an interesting area for support. Now the 243 level, let's just go ahead and see if that correlates with the bottom side of the support. And it does. This is the support that I'm actually talking about right over here, okay? So it is very much connected to the one spot 618. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys now a range of support for us to look at. Okay, because there could be some downside before a continuation to the upside. Okay, I just want to make sure that we can be abundantly clear about the downside first. Okay, so this is what we're looking at as a very relevant area of support. Let's go ahead and continue validating with the next chart. Okay, so now what we're looking at here are actually the Cryptex indicators. Okay, these are the ARC-Series indicators. In particular, I wanted to continue touching on the enhanced MACD. Okay, so why the enhanced MACD? Because on the last thread of analysis that we put up, we did notice that we were starting to get a little bit of a pivot from this candle here. And those are the nuances that I asked for you guys to kind of watch out for, okay? So in this case, we can actually see that we did absolutely start the curvature with the next pivot. All right, so it still hasn't printed a bear signal yet, but it is the daily, okay? So it could take some time for it to refresh. But let's go down the time frames. Let's see the 12-hour. Okay, so on the 12-hour, we do have that short signal printed. Okay, and it looks like the Bollinger Bands from the enhanced MACD started to contract, getting very close together, and now they're starting to expand. Okay, so when price action is doing this downward motion and Bollinger Bands are starting their expansion phase, that usually means that there is price movement on the way. Okay, so in this particular time frame, actually let's go back to the daily. So in this particular time frame, we have a couple supports. Okay, so that would be the one spot 272 at 304 to the one spot 618 at about $2.64. So let's just see where that 264 is right over here. All right, so 264 lands us right in between our area of the macro support that we're looking at, which is very interesting as well. So the dots are connecting pretty nicely. If you guys are interested in acquiring any of these ARC-Series indicators, please go ahead and just send me a DM and we'll go over the subscription packages. You must obtain either a free account or a paid subscription for TradingView software first before inquiring about the Cryptex indicators, as they are a separate thing. Okay, so now let's move on to the next chart. Okay, so this is the statistical side of the analysis, okay? And please remember that we are making this analysis on the 5-day chart, okay? So this is, it takes time for it to realize. All right, so what we did on this analysis is this, okay? So this is volatility you're looking at, represented by BBWP. And volatility is direction neutral, so we pair it with stochastic momentum so that we can gain that bias for direction, okay? So in this case, you can actually see that upon starting that contraction phase to the downside, we have started in ascent in the momentum oscillator, okay? So this is a very good thing. The backtest actually consisted of that criteria in particular. So anytime that we have expanded into critical expansion or critical volatility, which could be within the 90 percentile, I have taken note of the iteration's duration, the upside thrust, versus the amount of times that volatility versus momentum have guessed the upside correctly versus incorrectly. Okay, so that gives us a data set, and now these are the results here. So we're looking at a total 35 iterations throughout the entire trading history of BBBY on the 5-day chart in particular. Okay, so out of those 35, 25 were guessed correctly to the upside, giving us an averaged upside accuracy of 71.43% over the, let's see, actually with an average upside thrust of 62.55%. Over the span of about 47.08 days, with this being the proof of work. Okay, so now if we were to actually look at that signal restarting itself, because we actually did touch, we actually did sort of surpass the critical volatility zone and reset the conditions once again, and then started that contraction phase again. Okay, so if we did set those conditions, then that means that there could still be the possibility to where we can reset that the statistical conditions. Sorry guys, the toddler is making a lot of noise here. My apologies. All right. Anyway, so yes, we're looking at a potential resetting of these conditions, which mean that essentially we could actually reset another move of 62.55% yet again, but we would still need to validate those areas of support first, okay? So please notice that 264, 263 level that we were looking at on the Cryptex indicator side is actually in line with this candle low. Please take a look right here, the wick high, sorry, of this candle iteration on January 3rd. So that's taking us to about 274 to about 263. Okay, so very, very curious that we can actually see a potential touch of support here before a continuation to the upside. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the RSI. All right, hold on just a sec, my buddy. I got you. Just a sec. Hold on, my little guy. All right, so the immediate short term is suggesting some sideways trading. I mean, this is consolidation for the immediate short term, right? So that's likely to live out pretty fast. The buy hourly is still suggesting that downside. It's now at the border between bear weakness and bear strength, so this is likely to continue. It's also the pretty short-term time frame, so that can live out kind of fast as well. 6 hours still suggesting some downside here. And let's see. Now the 12-hour is actually suggesting some downside continuation as well. Okay, now the 3-day is suggesting downside. It looks to be limited though. Please notice that the 14-day moving average is right down here. I got it, baby. I'll do it for you right now. Just a sec, honey. And yeah, I'm coming. Hold on. Guys, I'm sorry. All right, so now the 14-day moving average is down here on the 3-day, which could be a limited downside, okay? Same thing with the 5-day. It looks like we do have that limited downside here as well. Not only would we face the support from the 14-day moving average, but also from the gravitational zone of the bear strength. Same deal here on the 3-day. Okay, so this is what's essentially telling me that there is some limited downside before we can face some upside. Okay, so it's just please know, you guys, that this is getting a little dangerous. Another thing is that BBBY is absolutely a meme stock. It's very difficult to get these to play out the way you want them to. Okay, so this is please just know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I can't suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. Okay, I need you to do your own DD, and everything would be just fine. Okay, so if we were looking at a potential short-term balance, it would likely happen at about 296, and then come back up to test our current highs or lows, sorry, at about 336 to potentially 355 before a continuation to the downside again, and finding this one spot 618 at 243 as that area of support before possibly retrying to claim this over here. Okay, so this can take days and days. So please know, you guys, that as long as there isn't a catalyst for BBBY, then this is at risk of going to the downside, but there is still lots of room to play the upside with. Okay, please be very careful with this. Also, don't fall for the scammers in the comments. Do not fall for their WhatsApps and to text me and stuff, guys. I'm never going to provide you my phone number on a comment ever. In fact, no one has my phone number, so I'm never going to do that. Definitely don't fall for those scams. They are thieves. They are scammers. They're trying to take your money. Do not, by any means, engage with them. Okay, you guys? But with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and the rest of your weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.